you say, Krista?
We were his feet.
Oh, well said.
It
Well
was
said.
very mysterious.
What? That was so awesome.
That was mysterious.
Deanna, what
Was
are
I
you?
supposed to leave my mic on? Whoops.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey,
I had it off this whole time.
Oh, is that what happened the other night? Was that what happened the other night when you came on the show too?
Nah, I don't know what happened.
The night we brought Jamie on to break dance and interview and you couldn't hear him. But yes, 9 months into this thing and we're still having mic issues. I'm sure you are too at home. Yes.
John, we should also explain that was you in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen because you look like a candelabra with a pillow on top.
Yes. I had a little headache this afternoon when we were shooting that, but I am raring to go on this Friday night. You're watching The Jam. Amy Rutledge, Deanna Gutierrez in for Miss Felicia Lawrence. So we start with some breaking news for those of you following the presidential election, which has now entered its 5th or 6th week. The Supreme Court with a major ruling deciding not to hear the case of Texas and a bunch of other red states that were suing a few of the blue states just to kind of switch their vote based on some fraud accusations, which have proven not to be true in other court cases. This is huge. All 3 Trump appointees ruling with the majority saying, nope, we're not going to hear this case. It was a 7-2 majority, and you might say, oh, how did 2 people even want to hear that? Well, 2 of the conservative justices says this is within our jurisdiction, but we would not have ruled for the merits. So essentially, a unanimous shutdown, no one coming to the support of President Trump or the red states in this effort. So big news here on this.
So, John, I got to ask, though, is this now dead in the water, or are there steps afterwards?
This particular case is Trump and some of his allies have already appealed today on a few other cases, but people think that those have even less of a chance. Those are part of the Dominion conspiracy angles, which have not proven out in federal or in district court. This was a direct appeal to the Supreme Court because it was state versus state, and people thought, most likely nothing will happen, but the Supreme Court confirms that tonight.
I'm waiting for the president to tweet something. I keep refreshing my phone.
Well, yeah, it's going to be, he had a tweet storm this morning. Maybe he'll cap off his week with another one.
We shall see. All right, guys. Yes. Hey, hospitals in our area could get their first deliveries of the COVID-19 vaccine by Monday once it's approved by the FDA, and it cannot come fast enough. Another 9,420 new cases announced in Illinois today and an additional 190 deaths. Awful.
Yeah, Amy, and it'll be until very early to late spring before any healthy adults get the vaccine. And before that happens, the medical community has a lot of convincing to do in the Black and brown communities, because they're not going to be like, I want to go first, right? Because we have talked about those tensions in the Black and brown communities. And Dr. Erica Schwartz, who has more than 30 years of experience in advanced patient care, says there's something that we can do in the meantime to stay healthy.
Nobody should do anything they're not comfortable with. I think that the first thing is you can be your own best advocate, and you can also be the one who prevents as much as possible a disease.
The latest Gallup poll shows that about 63% of Americans would get the COVID-19 vaccine once it's available. That number has been progressively growing, except in the Black and brown communities, which still lack trust in the government.
Why would anybody expect people to just accept something that we have very little understanding of?
There are some unknown factors. Both the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines have proven over 90% effective, but both carry the potential for mild to moderate side effects, including fever, fatigue, and headache. Researchers say in rare cases, allergic reactions are possible. 2 were reported in the first day shots were administered in the UK. Both have recovered.
We don't know long-term effects, long-term side effects. And we won't know that until millions and millions of people have taken it and have gone through 6 months, a year, and find out then what the story is.
The chance for reinfection, also still a question, with or without the vaccine. First responders who are exposed to the virus will be the first in line to be vaccinated, along with the nursing home population with weakened immune systems. Who comes next has yet to be determined.
I think there's a lot of questions we have and that will be answered in time. So jumping on the vaccine as the solution is a great idea, but again, you're putting it on the outside world rather than taking your own responsibility for it. Wearing a mask, social distancing washing your hands, eating well, sleeping, exercising, taking care of yourself, meditating, doing all the things that will protect you regardless of what's coming our way. Because this is one pandemic. Who knows what the next one will show?
Hopefully, before that ever happens, Dr. Schwartz says the medical community also needs to focus on building trust.
And the medical community is, notorious for being very dense and using the wrong language and not being caring and not being supportive. And so it's established itself in a very bad place.
If you have any additional questions or you want more information, there's Dr. Erica Schwartz information on the screen, social, website, and everything. And she says at least 70% of the population needs to build an immunity to COVID in order to beat it. Until then, she says that we have to exercise, lay off on the booze a little bit, just maintain a healthy lifestyle.
Yeah, until we get to that 70%, obviously everyone wondering and waiting when the FDA is going to officially approve this. Yesterday, we told you about the advisory panel, which had voted, but we aren't quite yet there. And boy, the FDA is facing extreme pressure, both publicly and privately, to approve of this vaccine. The president this morning tweeting out, he called the nonpartisan group, quote, a big old slow turtle, which is what I thought we called Mitch McConnell. But anyways, then he said in that very eloquent presidential voice that we hear, get the damn vaccines out now, is what he also tweeted. The Washington Post reporting that Chief of Staff Mark Meadows telling the FDA head to approve of the vaccine by the end of the day today or resign. And I'm like refreshing Twitter. We're at 7:05 p.m. in Washington, D.C. I haven't seen an official approval nor resignation. But it's a lot of pressure. I get it, but science takes time.
So, by the way, they're supposed to vote on this on Sunday for final approval. So Sunday is the day. We've already got shipments here in the Chicagoland area. There is a Pfizer facility in Kenosha, and shipments have been sent there. So immediately after it's been approved, it can be shipped to the hospitals in the surrounding area. However, so many questions. Does he have the authority to fire Mark Meadows, by the way? Because he's keeps threatening to fire these people that he has no authority to fire, and by putting pressure on them. And there is a reason why they do it this way. Are we going super slow? Yes. Is it frustrating? Yes. But is there a need for it to be this slow? Probably. These are very, very smart scientists. I do tend to lend to their expertise than try to surmise my own final decision.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. See, if we would have rushed through all of this, all you guys would be complaining that it was too soon, that you don't feel comfortable. And I understand that because it is something that you have to make a decision on. It's a huge decision, right? Something that you put into your body. That's why it takes so much time. And I think we have to learn, if 2020 taught us anything, is we know nothing and you have to have a lot of patience. So, hey, take all the time.
Yeah, and you're hitting on a good point there, Deanna. I think that when you hear these reports of someone rushing the FDA to do this, even if it's only by a day or two, that has a role in eroding the confidence that people have in this. Yes. You want this to go through the proper channels. Yes, we all want it quickly, but if you know that the FDA took the proper steps that they normally would under any other emergency declaration, you have a little bit more confident going in. So I honestly think they knew the Supreme Court news was coming tonight and they wanted some good news to end their Friday on, and that's not how we govern.
I think you're right there, John. All right, so time for Chicago in 60. Close to 900 CTA workers contracted COVID-19 between March and right now, according to the Sun-Times. That includes at least 33 CTA L operators and 24 bus drivers. Positions, by the way, which come in contact with tens of thousands of riders a month. 8 of those transit employees have died.
I know that it is. Sorry, Amy, I don't mean to interrupt. I know that it's a authority. The CTA is cash strapped like anyone else. But those people that have been driving our buses and still ensuring that essential workers get to where they need to go are heroes in this city. There's something we got to be able to do for them after this is all said or done, because they have been standing up for us.
Mm-hmm. And the Sun-Times report even said they don't know whether or not they actually disseminated the virus or they actually contracted it from the riders. So, it's hard to say, but it just goes to show you, they know they have to go to work. They go to work every day, virus or not.
Sorry for interrupting.
Chicago's second scooter pilot program ends tomorrow, and ridership is down more than 20% from the last program. And COVID, of course, is to blame. The city now wants to hear from the public about the future of the program. Too fast, personal opinion. But So this morning, an image of the Virgin Mary was taken down from the Shrine of Our Lady of Guadalupe in Des Plaines to discourage the thousands of visitors who usually come this weekend for festivities and pilgrimages. All the events have been canceled. The picture will return on Monday. They are, of course, trying to keep people safe and try to disseminate crowds during COVID-19.
Yeah, no, I was in one of those thousands, right? My family and I always go out there. It's actually tomorrow, El Dia de la Virgen is tomorrow. And hey, it doesn't mean that you can't, celebrate and have your little session here at your house. So do what you got to do to stay healthy.
For sure.
Yeah, next year's a whole new year, that's for sure. Yes. All right, guys, coming up. You know John Stamos. We've met his beautiful wife, Caitlin. We are going to talk about how they are helping stop the spread of ALS across the country. So stick around for that. The Jam will be right back. She is a model, a jewelry designer, and has been using her voice to help those in need for years, now turning to those suffering from ALS. Caitlin McHugh Stamos is back with us today. Caitlin, we're so glad to have you here, but it's unfortunate because this time it hits really close to home.
Yes, closer than I ever want to be. A friend of mine's sister has been diagnosed with ALS, and she's actually in her 4th year battling the disease and was given 1 to 5 years. So it's not looking good. She's paralyzed completely except for control over eyes. She uses eye-based technology to communicate now.
So what are you guys hoping people do to help you out in this fight?
Well, there's a very big ask, but it does not require very much of anyone. It's a few moments of your time just to click a few buttons online, and you'll be able to contact your senators and representatives. And we do need everyone in Illinois to contact all your representatives and senators to get them to co-sponsor bills HR 8662 in the House and S 4867 in the Senate. They are two bills that will help extend research and access to potentially life-saving treatments for ALS patients that have so far in current trials have been like over 90% effective. But there is just these roadblocks for some reason for these ALS patients to get to them, and this would end that roadblock and save lives. So please, it costs nothing, just a few clicks. We've made it very easy. There's a link at www.helpmyuri.com. That is my friend. And it's really just as easy as putting your email in. A pre-written email will come up and you press send and you have done your part to help us.
It's amazing. And it's so nice to hear that people always wonder, oh, what can I do? What can I do? It's that simple, just going to the website.
That's it. It's amazing how big your voice is. And when we all come together, we can really create big change, like saving lives. It's something I've just discovered for myself even. You know, I feel like in this time when so much has been going crazy in this world, I feel like a lot of us just say, what can I do to help? What can I do? And this is one very easy way that you can make a big difference.
Well, slightly pivoting, but you have been helping kids for a number of years now, and people looking for Christmas gifts might, want to help kids out too.
Very nice bracelets you have there.
Thank you.
For me, touching my hair a lot over here and showing my You are so beautifully modeling my saint, my hero, Saint Amos jewelry collection, and 100% of our proceeds benefit child health organizations. So yes, they make beautiful gifts for Christmas or Hanukkah or whatever you celebrate this year. And we have them for men and women, children, everybody. Everyone can wear them. They're all celebrating different things. This bracelet is going to be benefiting nonprofits that help out the BIPOC community. It's our Black Lives Matter bracelet. And what I love about it is that it's stone that's a mix of all different colors. It's got brown and white and black, and they're all melded together in beautiful harmony. And so this is our newest thing, and I'm really excited about it.
That's so wonderful. Do you find, having been in quarantine all this time, that you have gotten a chance to do more things like this that you would have liked to do before?
Yeah, we've been really fortunate during this time. COVID has not affected us personally, but we do recognize that it's a terrible thing throughout the world and we can't wait for it to end. But we have been able to make the best of our situation. It's been nice to have my husband home. He was working on a show and he's back on now, but for a time he was home 24/7, which he hadn't been in a very long time, and able to spend a lot of quality time as a family and doing as much as we could to help others from home.
What are you guys doing for the holidays? I mean, it's probably hard to see family right now, but any plans?
Very little. Keeping it small in our little bubble and at home, like they're asking us to. We're big supporters of wearing masks in public or indoors if you're with anyone that's not a part of your bubble, and just trying to stop the spread and keep it safe and eat a lot of food.
Caitlin, it's so good to talk to you again, and so wonderful that you were leading by example, helping people out as much as you can. So we want to make sure that people have all the information on their screen. Keep up with their projects on Instagram, and to help support ALS patients expand those treatments, visit helpmayuri.com. That's MAYURI.com.
All right, let's get into some news you need to know this evening. Cheer star Jerry Harris faces new charges related to child pornography. The 21-year-old from Naperville received 7 new counts in the case. Illinois State University pulls a spring break for 2021. The concern is pretty obvious here, the pandemic and safe travel. The university president says that if he didn't make this decision, it would result in a significant increase in cases both on campus and in the community. The Senate passed a 1-week stopgap bill to prevent a government shutdown. They're going to use this time to work on full-year funding and COVID aid. Plus, the National Defense Authorization Act passes. It authorizes appropriations and sets policies for the Department of Defense. And there's a new study out there that says dogs may be able to smell or detect COVID. They're trained like detection dogs for drugs and explosions and things like that, but they're taught to sniff sweat. 6 dogs were put to the test. The success rate is between 76 to 100%. Now, experts say that, of course, more work is needed, but this could be a cheap way to pre-screen.
Hey guys, so CPD wants to know how you are all feeling. It's released an online poll where people can rate the trust and safety in the police districts where they live. You can submit all the information anonymously. The data is going to be used to make some positive changes to the department. They say the city average of trust for CPD right now is 65 out of 100%. And there's like 2 levels of questioning that they're breaking it down into. So one is level of trust, the other is the level of safety in their communities and how police are doing. But the interesting thing is they've had this survey since 2017, so I'm a little confused by the timeline of what they're looking for.
Yeah, and I want to kind of point out those numbers. So they said in the article that about 63,000 residents, people who live in CPD districts, responded to this. So this is something that about, if you kind of break it down, 2,000 people per month are giving their opinion. So if we are leaning towards some type of change, if we're leaning towards some type of kind of announcement and way to move forward, I think this is the way. We've always said, hey, listen to what we're saying, listen to what's going on in our communities. And this is breaking it down by district, and it gives you the exact kind of number. So it's like 0, you don't feel safe at all. Obviously 100, you feel safe. So 65, we got some work to do.
Yeah, you know, I was looking at the data, and obviously it's interesting based on, and I think this will come as no surprise to people. People on the north side feel safer than people on the south side and the west side, or feel more trust in their police officers. And if you look at this tracking, you mentioned, Amy, from 2017, there is a sharp drop off in June of 2020. And I imagine we can guess why. George Floyd, all the protests associated with that. Not that that was a new thing for Black Americans to deal with, but certainly on a national focus, and a real steep drop in trust from young Black people. And I can imagine that's entirely true. It's rebounded a little bit slightly, but it is interesting to see this correlation of numbers and how they go based on national conversation as well as local ones too.
Well, as I was reading it, I was like, okay, so it's been out there since 2017. What do they do with the numbers? Okay, you keep gathering numbers, but what are you doing with them? Because you've been looking now for 3 years, almost 4.
It wouldn't be a bureaucracy without paying money to collect information before you decide.
Well, they said they're going to continue. They're going to continue using that money next year, so it's already included in the budget for 2021. So whatever they're doing, they need to start talking about that too.
Yeah. Okay, guys, after the break, we're doing some trending hot takes. People in other countries think we're really weird. Well, we're going to shove it right back in their faces after this. All right, let's get to some trending news here tonight. And on a Friday night, we make it Hot Takes edition, which means that I'm going to tell a quick story. Then Amy and Deanna are going to react quickly. I vote who has the hotter take. All right, Kyrie Irving fined $25,000 for not talking to the media all week at the start of basketball camp. He says talking to pawns isn't worth his time. Deanna.
Who are you calling a pawn? Pawn, do your job. Gosh.
Ooh, I like that. Amy.
Who is Kyrie Irving?
Ooh, an inadvertent hot take. He's a basketball player. I probably should have said that. That's a dig at me, too, and me not telling the story correctly. But thank you, Amy. And I'm going to award this one to Deanna. I like the pawn. Okay, Americans have some really strange holiday traditions. Well, I didn't think they were strange till other people in other countries started pointing it out to us. I believe we have a couple of the tweets that I found about the strange things that people think. Do Americans treat Thanksgiving dinner like a warm-up, or is the meal any different? Another reaction we had was from somebody else. Well, that one's good enough to start with. I forgot to write the tweets down on my own script. That's my own fault. All right, so what do we think? Another one was about caroling. Do Americans really go house to house to house and sing songs to each other? Are we weird or are they weird? Amy?
Well, we used to, but I have a friend who lives in Europe, and she also told me about their tradition where they would go house to house and ask for candy, and the boys would either have to give them candy or dump water on their heads.
See, that's weirder.
US wins.
Deanna, 5 seconds.
Who celebrates Christmas? If you celebrate it on Christmas Day, you're supposed to do it the day before and then not talk to anyone on actual Christmas.
I like them both. Amy, we're tied.
Deanna, do you know the body dance? Do you know the body dance?
What is it? This one?
Yeah, let me see you do it.
Oh no.
I'm sure you know it. I'm sure you're in the mirror.
Look it, so crazy. My dog's on my lap. What?
Not on you.
Got out of that one really quickly.
Yeah, it's smart, Deanna. And the dog ready to go. Happy Friday night, everyone. I hope you had a great week. It is over. Relax. Kick off your shoes. Take off your pants. Whatever you want to do on a Friday. We are not judging. We can't see
Early,
you.
hands
You
off.
can only see us. Hey, whatever you got to do to get your Friday night going. No judging. Amy Rutledge, myself, Deanna Gutierrez in for Felicia Lawrence.
Okay, speaking of taking your pants off or at least loosening your belt, we've all been eating a lot more and drinking a lot more in quarantine. But if you had to, which would you rather give up? Booze or food delivery? Because a new survey shows 65% of respondents would rather quit drinking than give up their delivery.
See,
Oh
this
my
is tough
gosh,
because
John.
these are two things I do on the weekend pretty extensively. I definitely Friday night have a drink, and then I usually cook during the week, but I definitely do food delivery on the weekend. And I look forward to both so much, whether it's the wings or I get a pizza or so whatever the case may be. But I think I'd rather give up food delivery because I can always figure out a way to rig something together that I'm gonna like to eat. But I once made my own beer. It did not go well. I want those drinks made for me.
I just want to talk to the 33% of people who said we are going to have a dry January. What's wrong with you people? We're living through a pandemic. Hang out, relax. It's a big deal. Drink a little bit, not crazy, but I mean, come on.
I'm putting it out there right now. I'm trying to get in a little box. I'm putting it out there right now. I'm doing dry January.
Wow.
So, you know what? You know, I took a couple weeks off in December and I felt really good. And I said to my husband, I'm like, you know what? We should take January off completely. Why not? What are we losing?
Yeah.
There's nothing going on. We might as well.
I feel really
I
good
want to sleep
with
really
alcohol.
good. I want to exercise really good. And then I'm going to, hit February really hard.
You know what the best thing about making promises like this are in a pandemic? There's very few people to keep you honest. Like, if you see your coworkers every day, your friends, they're going to know what you're doing. You could just be like, oh yeah, I'm working out, not drinking, and no one will know.
Wait, I'm looking at like the little stash that we have here at my house. You guys don't have just like a stash of booze? Like you have to order?
Of course. We have
booze?
a full bar, girlfriend. We have a full bar upstairs.
Yeah, so I mean, if that's the case, I guess
I every night.
Well, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. No, but I guess like, then I would, give up, alcohol delivery because you have it here.
Oh, no. They're not talking about alcohol delivery. They're talking about alcohol in general. Just alcohol. Not alcohol delivery. I'm by my own. I go to the store, I pick it up, I put it in my cart.
What's next?
Oh, that's me. Okay, here we go. This story really just gets me. Okay, because obviously we're living in a pandemic, the biggest question here is, should you still be licking your envelopes before you send them out? Now, is it possible to give COVID to someone who's opening up the envelope and vice versa? Can you get it? Now, the Tribune asked an epidemiologist, and he says there's an incredibly low risk COVID transfers from person to person. Even if COVID does live on surfaces, there's not enough on an envelope to actually cause an infection. He's just suggesting to keep washing your hands. But again, it's 2020. Y'all are still licking envelopes. Like, that taste is the worst thing in the world. I don't understand. Why can't you just grab, a little bit of water and do this?
Okay, quick story, because yes, I use a sponge when I do my Christmas cards because there's a lot of them, but I normally lick an envelope. And when I was a kid and we used to get the Publishers Clearinghouse sweepstakes in the mail, I would actually take it out and I would lick all the stamps just because I like the flavor.
Oh, God.
Okay.
I love the flavor.
Yeah, let's save that for later. Yeah, that's a little weird. I like licking envelopes. I can't remember the last time I did. I've gotten a bad paper cut, but like when it comes to COVID and envelopes, look, the mail is not fast.
Yeah.
If there is a COVID virus on someone's mail that they licked and it comes to me a week and a half later and I get COVID, then the Lord God, whoever up there, destined for me to get it. Like, that is about a 1 in a trillion. So
you're right.
Bring it on at that point, I guess. So
no, every single bill that I get, I'm going to ask for proof of how they sealed it because I'm not opening it. I don't know, Bill.
Do you use a letter opener?
Yeah,
do you use letter opener?
Oh, yeah, those things. What?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't. I'm just asking. I was like, no, don't care that much.
Well, in 5 minutes, I've told people to take off their pants and lick away. So let's go ahead and go on to the next story. Insurance companies say that Christmas tree injuries are on the rise. 20%. 1 out of every 5. There's 3 of us in this window, which means that there's an 80% chance that one of us has gotten injured putting up a Christmas tree, not ever in our lives, but this year in 2020. Most of them are men. And surprisingly, it's younger people that say, like, are they just new to the Christmas tree experience? They don't get how it goes, or that it could topple over. I don't get it. 30% of people say they get rid of their Christmas tree by burning it, and that's where a lot of injuries come. A third of the people are just burning their Christmas tree to get rid of. What is happening?
I tell you.
Wait, their fake one or their real one? Let's be specific here, because that's
I
where
don't
the injuries
know.
would come from.
Yes. How does someone get injured at putting up a Christmas tree?
Okay. Maybe putting in the stand. It can kind of fall when you're trying to get it straight if you're using a real one. Otherwise, you're stupid. Because
Right.
it's fake. They fit into little like brackets, and you can
bluntly.
kind of just go up, right?
Right.
Put this on the list of weird things Americans do for Christmas, because what is
There you
going on
go.
here? Okay, this is
Yeah,
ridiculous.
that's
No, I
true.
understand. Maybe if you're by yourself, there's an issue, but I don't know. A little suspect
Yeah, I mean,
here. Mm-mm.
they are, like, especially like live ones when you just buy them, they're all full of water. They're kind of heavy. I get that. And I get that you could step on an ornament and cut your foot,
Yes.
or you
Well, no, you
could
don't-
stab your hand with a hook, I
Well, yeah,
guess. I don't know.
What type of
That's
injuries
not
are
a
we
tree
talking
injury. That's not a tree
Yeah.
injury.
Yeah.
That's an ornament injury.
Well, I don't look, I'm not a lawyer, Amy. I didn't break this down based on in what
Give
phase of the
us the
tree
specifics.
this happened.
Sorry,
Yes.
very pragmatic. Does it like fall on them when they're trying to put the stand up and they go, you know, that's where I'm
I
thinking
mean,
of.
maybe. But are you putting up like a 40-foot tree? Like, leave that
No.
to the log
Clark,
people of the world.
go
Wait,
with
what
What
are
if you
log
pull a
people called? What
muscle?
am I
Like,
trying to say? What are those people called that wear flannel? Lumberjacks.
Lumberjack.
Leave that to the lumberjacks. The log people of the world.
Oh, God.
Oh, it is
Oh, my
Friday. I
God.
need to be done. Okay.
I
Let's
think
get
we're
some
wrapping
good
it up.
news,
All
Amy.
right. Throughout November, we have asked you to donate to CD1 price codes for Kids Drive. And hey, you really delivered. Record-breaking 1,409 coats. Usually we get around 900. So from the Jam and CD1 Price Cleaners, we really want to thank you for showing up for kids, even in the midst of this pandemic.
Awesome.
That's sweet.
All right.
That's really cool.
Call him Superman, call him Mr. Christmas. Coming up, I sit down with Dean Cain to talk about celebrating the holidays and his project that is helping spread some holiday cheer. He is a producer and actor and host of season 2 of the Christmas Caroler Challenge, airing tonight on CW26. Dean Cain is here. Dean, thanks for being here.
Hi, Amy. I'm very, very happy and excited to be here and to talk about this show because, number one, I love Christmas. It is my favorite time of the year. It's a Wonderful Life is one of my favorite movies of all time. And it's just something about this season, the reflection, the being with families, you know, whether or not people want to look at it as a religious holiday or not. It's that sort of stuff and that feeling of togetherness and family that I really cherish. So much so that like the first episode I ever wrote of Lois and Clark was a Christmas episode.
Oh, I did not know that. Well, and I almost would call you Mr. Christmas. You've been in what, more than a dozen Christmas movies?
I'm sure. I only have 2 hands, so I stopped counting after I got to 10. But yeah, I'm coming back around almost to 20 now. I love making them. It's just something about that time, this time though, you know, where everyone is together and they are reflecting on the year that happened, and that family togetherness creates a wonderful amount of drama and love and conflict. Hopefully some more love than conflict, but you never know. And that makes it fun and a special time of the year.
Well, and this challenge is so fun. And I mean, frankly, we all need a little bit more content. We need a little bit more Christmas and holiday spirit in our lives. And I feel like this is just perfect.
It is magical. It is wonderful. It brings the spirit of Christmas right into your home. And the thing about this, we did it last year and it was okay. You know, we were sort of finding our way. This year, it is so much better. The groups are better. The stage is amazing. The judges are the same and they're wonderful and they're funny. And the hosts are the same. So we didn't change those things, which is great. But we have such great talent and we have a few new twists and such in our 2-hour show. Boy, can these groups sing. My son, for example, though he's 20 years old, didn't know what a Christmas caroler was. He was like, I don't know, what is that? No idea, because he's never seen it. It's kind of a lost art. Yeah, and I'm hoping that this will bring more attention to that. And certainly the songs, there's moments in this show where it's just magic. It's just magic happening on screen and you're really taken away by it. I'm a guy who cries at, commercials, so what do I know?
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. So the bands that are the groups that are singing, are those their original group names? Because they're all holiday themed, or do they change it for the show?
I imagine they changed it for the show, but I'm not. A lot of those, a lot of a cappella singers, they belong to troops, if you will, and yeah. So from there they'll sometimes make their groups and things. So that's not my world. I'm not a aka genius, to borrow from like Pitch Perfect. But so these groups are, a lot of these singers know each other. Some of the groups form just for the competition. The names are hysterical. Yeah. The Yule tones in one of my favorites is Snow Problem. Snow Problems. They're great. They're great groups, and Jingle Bells. And I mean, it's just they're clever and they're extremely talented. I'm sure you've seen some bits and clips, and if not, share them with the world.
Yeah, and like you mentioned Pitch Perfect, and really since that movie, the first one came out, a cappella singing has really exploded. People are really enjoying it.
I used to watch a lot of a cappella singing when I was in college. I went to Princeton University, and we had singing groups. I can't sing, but I see a lot of my friends that I didn't realize were singers and could sing at an arch sing. And I'm like, wait a minute, I didn't know you had that talent. And it's something special.
That's awesome. Well, Dean, it was so great to talk to you. Thank you so much for joining us. We certainly appreciate it.
Thank you, Amy. Thanks for having me.
And you can watch Dean host the Christmas Carol Challenge beginning tonight at 7 p.m. on CW26.
All right, it's time to turn your holiday lights on and share them with Chicago, Chicagoland, all over the place. We're partnering with ComEd's Energy Efficiency Program to highlight holiday lights from around the area. This one here is from Maryville, Indiana. If we're going to pull it up here just really quickly, I want to show them how good this picture is. There we go. Look how cute. I saw it earlier.
Oh, Cousin Eddie.
Guys. They went all out. Look at the little, what is that, a Ferris wheel in the back? It's a real deal, okay?
You guys are missing the Cousin Eddie in the front. The pooper
well, maybe that's really Randy Quaid. He isn't getting any work elsewhere after his craziness.
Oh my gosh.
There he is.
Well, if you have a great display we'd like to share, snap a photo and send it to us at cw26chicago.com. We'll feature your images on air and, of course, all over social media. We'll be right back.
Okay, so there are two things I love around the holiday season. I mean, actually all year round. One, online shopping, and two, Google. I'm joined now by Molly Vandenberg. She's a Google technology expert, and she's going to break down all the trends. Molly, you're telling me that online shopping and Google go hand in hand this season.
They do. In fact, we're seeing that search interest in online shopping is higher in 2020 than at any point in Google history. And I will admit that I think that some of those searches are from myself, but we are in the holiday shopping season and it is my favorite time of year.
Because you've got some of the trending gifts that everybody's getting, and I want you to spill the hot cocoa for us.
And some of the things that are trending are several coffee makers, air fryers, and patio heaters of all things.
Okay, but lightning round really fast. If you had to, I know you don't know my parents, but mom and dad, what are you getting them?
Mom and dad, I would say I cannot go wrong with the KitchenAid stand mixer. That one is on the trending list and it is a classic. It's one that I have received myself a couple of years ago and I still love it. So I feel like that's one that stands the test of time.
It's a great gift. It's a great gift. Okay. And my brother and his wife, and they're expecting. So do you have anything for, any future parents out there?
Congratulations to them.
Thank
and
you.
I feel like when you are an expecting parent or a new parent, you have your hands full. So maybe that's a great moment for a tech gift. If you're thinking about a smart speaker or a new phone or a way to be able to get things done hands-free, I think is excellent. Another one that's trending that is a favorite of mine, if they're looking to, maybe relax at the end of the night and catch up on some TV, is the new Chromecast with Google TV, which has a remote, really nice, and also great for the people that are tough to buy for on your list.
And these gifts are so hard for me every year because they always say they have everything. My sweet, sweet grandmother, Nana, what should I get her?
I think that she might really enjoy something that could be a little bit unexpected, but that she might find is great for these kind of holiday moments. And similarly, also a tech gift. But so many of us can't see our family face to face this year. And so she might really benefit from something like a smart display where she can make video calls to her grandchildren and make sure that she's staying up to date with them in a year that's very strange, but you want to make sure that grandma feels connected.
Thank you so much for that help. I needed it. And also, Molly, I'm on a budget like a lot of people. And there are ways that I can use the Google shopping trends and functions and features to make sure that I'm getting the best deals. How do I do that?
We all love a good deal, but sometimes it's tough to know how good a deal really is, especially when retailers are offering all kinds of sales. So we make it really easy for you. If you're looking up a particular item, all you have to do is click on the shopping tab and select the item. And from there, what you're going to be able to do is see a lot of different features that round up information from across the internet. One of them is called the Price Insights module, and that's going to show you whether a price for an item is low, typical, or high for any given gift. And that's going to help you understand, okay, is that sale actually a good one? You can also turn on price tracking. So if there's an item that you know that you want to get and you're waiting for the best price, it will notify you if it drops. And then finally, my favorite is actually this price comparison grid that will show you all of the different websites where that item is available and how much it costs with tax and shipping included, so that way you can really make sure that what you're ultimately paying is going to be the best price possible.
Thank you so much, Molly, for all of these tips. And everybody, if you want to check out more of these deals and trending gifts, you can go to g.co/gift guide.
Thank you so much. By the way, no one likes to talk about Monday on Friday, but this is something to look forward to. The 2020 iHeartRadio Jingle Ball coming to CW26 Monday at 7 p.m. It's brought to you locally in part by Verdoliak Law Group. Can't wait to see that. And we'll be back.
Oh, look at all that hair.
Oh,
Hi,
Little Rudy.
she has more hair than you, Rudy.
I know she does.
Oh, we saw her.
Aw, so cute,
Oh,
Juliet.
that's so cute.
All right, time for us to get a little deep dish.
All right.
All right. Okay. I got to pull up my sleeves for this one because a husband puts his wife through an annual review of their marriage. What the heck? And he did it while they were at a work Christmas party. Double what the heck? Okay, so basically it's a 2-page report with feedback on everything ranging from bed performance to resolution skills, critical thinking skills, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, and the audacity of this man, I tell you, because the review comes with a performance improvement plan and a summary. Mind you, they have children, 5 kids. They've been married for 14 years. Like, what? Are you guys okay with this? Or you're like, hey, well, that's fine. Don't worry about it. Like, what?
So the 5 kids part's a game changer, right? Because in my opinion, he should be getting the review because let's face it, she's been doing a lot, if not the majority of the work. In hindsight, I think the overall idea is not necessarily horrible. Maybe we should all sit down and have a review with our spouses to see how we are in our marriage, and that would probably keep marriages stronger over the long run. But this dude, come on. You've got 5 kids.
I agree with you, Amy, there in that last part. The idea being that everyone should do a little reviewing of each other.
Yeah.
What's wrong with a little 2-page form? Sometimes it's hard to come up with exactly how to review that person, and it should be like going to the doctor's office. You get your physical once a year, and you have to,
make it clinical.
1 through 10 of this or that. When you go to the eye doctor, can you see? Can you not see? You do it. And the reason why you do it in an office party, you absolutely do it while other people are around. You better be doing that in a public place where there is no chance of anything happening to yourself if you answer the wrong way. Right.
So you're going to say, you're going to be like, okay, yeah, I'll have a Coke and some cheese sticks. By the way, just look at this while you look at the menu. Like, what are you talking about?
But I do like the fact that it's so business for the one reason is that, your marriage and your life is so emotional. So let's put some realistic ideas on paper that we can, in a calm manner, look at and be like, okay, well, I'm not happy here, but I'm really happy here, and see if we can bring this up. It's logistically how you would go to work. So why not at home?
Would you rather be angry for one night because your spouse told you something that was probably true that needed to be fixed than 6 years down the line, you got 5 kids and now you're on your own,
And
Sometimes maybe this couple needed a little oomph to talk a little bit more honestly.
Look, once it's a personality trait, good luck.
Two-sided.
Yeah.
You can't change a personality trait.
Yeah, no, I know. Hey, before we let you go tonight, we want to show first this, and we'll talk about it on the other side.
I love how much she fangirls just like me over certain interviews. Like, we just had Nick Sagar last week, and after the interview, we just fangirled so much over FaceTime. So she's on my level at all times, and I appreciate someone who is on my level.
Where are we going to get our Drake news? Deanna was the first to know everything, even before Twitter knew.
I enjoy about Deanna is her authenticity, and she is not ashamed of who she is and her culture, and she always brings the spice and the acento in her words. So we're gonna miss that about you, girl.
We truly are. If you couldn't infer from that, tonight is Deanna Gutierrez's last night here on the Jam. You've been an
you guys are gonna make me cry.
joy.
Oh gosh.
I know. Well, that's the whole point. We're supposed to. You've been an
Also,
absolute joy to work with. You're always so positive, and you're a light. And we're just blessed to be able to work with you for a couple of years, and can't wait to see what you're up to next.
Yeah. I am so grateful to have you guys as coworkers. You guys are more than just people that I work with. You guys are my family. And look, this year has been tough, but I knew you guys were always going to be there for me. So I just want to say thank you.
Yeah.
I love you guys.
And now you can submit a review of us, a 2-page review of what you think about me and Amy. You can fill that out to us. And you can do that at the office party.
Yeah, it'll come from my personal email. I'll make sure to text it to you, Google Drive, everything, so make sure you get it.
Deanna, we love you. Take care.
You,
and
Deanna.
everyone else, we'll see you Monday. Thanks so much for watching.
Have a great weekend, everybody.
Yeah. Oh, Deanna.
Oh, God.